Okay, so far we have looked at the different properties of light. We've looked how light travels in a straight line. We looked how light reflects off of shiny objects or surfaces. Now we're going to look at another property of light, which is refraction. So remember, light travels in a straight line, but light can be bent, and when light is bent, we call it refraction. Refraction is when light bends, just slightly. Light can bend when it comes into contact with certain substances, like water. The light will go into the water and bend just slightly. Have you ever been in a pool and tried to grab something that was at the bottom of the pool and realized that you missed it and you had to go a little further to grab it? That's because of refraction. In our picture, the boy is looking into the water. Now, the light is going into the water and bending, refracting just a little bit so that when he is looking in, he doesn't see the exact location of the fish. He sees the fish in a slightly different location, but really the fish is slightly below that. Understanding refraction was very important for indigenous cultures. If the spear fishermen threw the spear at the fish that they saw, they would go hungry. They learned very quickly how refraction worked. A good spear fisherman would throw the spear in front of the fish, where the real position of the fish was. So now it's our turn to play and experiment with refraction.
Okay, so for today's experiment, we want to see refraction in action. So all you're going to need is a glass container with water halfway through. I'm not sure if it will work well with a plastic container, but that's something that you could always try and compare the two. It'd be a fun little science experiment in itself. So you're going to need a glass container half full of water and a pencil. So all you need to do is you need to put the pencil inside the water. Now, moving it closer, you can see that the part of the pencil inside the water looks a little bit bigger than the top part. Also, you can see it looks like it's at a different spot where it should be. It's kind of like broken right there at the water line. That's because the light is entering the glass container, hitting the water, and then bending just slightly. Remember, we called that bending refraction. Not reflection, refraction. It just means the light's bending a little bit. So when we look at it, we think it looks like it's bent, but actually it's still in the same spot, but it looks like it's bent a bit.
So to recap, refraction is when light bends when it comes into contact with other substances like water. The light enters the water and bends or refracts slightly, giving the pencil the appearance of being in a different location. When you look into the water, the light is traveling back to your eyes, but it is showing you the false location, when in actuality, it's in a different position. So what I want you to do now is to try the experiment of the pencil in water. Put different things in as well, different objects, and see how they look. When you are done, I want you to draw a diagram of your experiment. Don't forget, I want titles, labels, and an explanation about what refraction is. I look forward to seeing your posts.